Well, before I terminate Dubai Investors Air Show for the day, we have been with you 9 hours and 34 minutes on the day that Chipotle reported earnings after hours, February 2015. Other remarkable earnings call. This follows the earnings calls made in Amazon, Netflix, Facebook, Google, and so on. So far we have not missed any, which I believe to be quite frankly remarkable, because as I've been saying, consistency is the single most important quality for a successful trader or investor in the stock market. And we have been proven here in this service that started 1 year ago. It is the first anniversary, Dubai Investors Air Show. It was the name that we decided to choose for this service 1 year ago. Technically speaking, the service improved dramatically. Today you no longer need to register to get started. You can start in a couple of minutes by visiting the website and clicking on the player. We are introducing new features almost weekly, which I think that is rather important, because according to some of your requests, we have responded to them. And nevertheless, the most important, it has been the success of this program. One of, I would say, probably the service that had more viewers in the past 2 decades. 2 decades this was not possible, 2 decades ago, because the technology it was not available. But today, due to the advance of technology, we can share this with you in real time, live, for investors all over the world, non-professionals and professionals. And the today results in the past couple of days, the announcement that 10 individuals, non-professionals, they made more than $500,000 in Amazon stock, following my guidance that was made public, in fact, ahead of the Amazon earnings report. I remind those of you that have been here for 1 year, Amazon, it is one of the stocks that we have been discussing here since the very beginning. And while most investors believe that Amazon is a very complex stock, here we make it simple. Not only Amazon, as we demonstrated. 1 year ago you did it again, and I'm referring to Amazon 285 all the way up to a price above $400, then betting on the short side in Amazon all the way down again to 285, and now Amazon is a stock trading at $370 almost, and you are there again on the long side. So profits on the long side, profits on the short side, but more important than profits, because profit is a consequence of a methodology that I've been teaching here for this, in this service for the past 1 year, but in my life for the past more than 20 years. More than the profit, I was saying, it is to learn how to invest in stock market, to learn the game played on each stock. And I think that is unique, because the information that you get, that we disclose, for example, comparing the activity in Amazon to the activity in ETFs, the power shares, the Qs, or if you are investing in social media stocks with the corresponding ETF, or in the financials, or whatever, all the information that is given in real time, you don't get that anywhere else. And we prove this daily, not only in the service, live streaming, trading and training, as well as the other service that we had and that you have access to. I'm referring, for example, to the basic trading course, where during 30 lessons I taught you how to invest, to trade in GoPro, IPO, a stock without any history, past history. and I proved that the prices could be predicted, and how, for example, to make $100,000 in one day in GoPro. And we could do this either on long side, the bull market phase in GoPro, or the bear market phase in GoPro, as it was recently published, the strong sell rating given at $95, while everyone else was upgrading GoPro, as the case, the other one that you know, just with the past 3 weeks, the case of Alibaba, other stock that you sold here at the very top with us, or the case of Yahoo. Alibaba, I like to mention the case of Alibaba because I used the case of this company, which I liked very much, and I predicted Alibaba IPO share price. But Alibaba became a Wall Street darling. And when stock analysts upgraded the stock ahead of earnings to $130, and when you had all those stock gurus on TV, CNBC, Fast Money, and the Jim Cramers of this world telling you to invest in Mobileye, or the Soda Streams, or the Alibabas, you know that the crowd loses money 90% of the time. And I would say, because it is a mathematical fact, that they lose more than 90% of the time money in the stock market. So you had to understand the game played since the very beginning, since the very first day of IPO. I'm not talking about only Alibaba. We discussed Facebook, we discussed Twitter, we discussed GoPro, we discussed El Pollo Loco, all of them, since IPO. And so, and this is unique because you understand, you acquire understanding of the game played on each one of these stocks. And obviously the game, it is different because it depends on the quality of the company. Some companies, they are speculative, as I proved to be the case of El Pollo Loco, that they were saying that it could be the next Chipotle. I mean, you understand what I'm saying. So you participated in historical events here, companies that disappeared, as it was the case last year with OCZ Technology. We bet on the collapse of OCZ Technology. We bet on the collapse, the recent one is just a couple of days in Land's End, which I demonstrated on a real customer account that was in fact secret, but nevertheless you were also able to profit from it, even if you were not, if you didn't have access to the collaborative live trading, so you continue profiting from it. The case of F5 Networks, so the case of Goldman Sachs, the case of Morgan Stanley, the case of Valero, that we recommended as a strong buying opportunity when Wall Street was downgrading the stock last year at $33. The case of Boeing, that is one of the best gainer, if not the best gainer in Dow Jones Industrials in 2015, also addressed here. And those that they had access to the service for a long period of time, or the case of biotech companies, Biogen, Amgen, some of the best bull market cases. In this service you obtain information about euro-dollar, how to profit from the euro-dollar, the currency pair, which I think that is also a competitive advantage for the price that you pay for this. So by having you here daily, I think that your investment in this service became your best, quite frankly. You have today, I could say, the necessary tools for you to be a successful investor on your own, if you decide to move ahead and to trade your own account. And that is dramatically important, because what most people they do is precisely the opposite. Instead of investing in their education in first place, they believe that they know something about the stock market, and they decide to gamble instead of investing. And although they are not aware of it, but when they decide to adopt that tactic, they are basically signing a document where they acknowledge in the end that they quit the stock market, and that is one of the, unfortunately, situations that happen to many people. After a while they quit the stock market because they come out with beliefs that the stock market is manipulated, that the stock market this or that, Federal Reserve this or that, you know, all arguments that in the end are excuses. And here you also learn that there is no place for excuses, there is no place for hope. Nothing of those things enter here. So emotional trading is something that does not exist here. We have very strict rules. We make decisions based on facts. We read about the stock market, and we do not listen to anyone. Others' opinions might be interesting for us to define plans, strategies, which some cases I discussed with you, investment plans to profit from or against the crowd, or sometimes using the momentum in certain stocks. And also I'm aware that it is important for many of you to listen to my comments daily, and I appreciate that, because well, it gives you confidence. And I repeat that I appreciate very much, and you are going to have me here all the time while I have the health to do it. Fortunately, I have had that health to be here working sometimes 18 hours per day, as you know. But I make it quite frankly with very much pleasure to teach people, and not for what some of you might consider that is for financial situation, because otherwise I would be doing this here alone or with the team, and not sharing this information with you for an absurd price. So that derives from the nature or the character of each person. And one of the things that I try, quite frankly, to explain here is the importance of sharing, giving this to others, giving at least the opportunity to others to make use of it, or the best use of it. If then they decide, as I addressed in one of the demonstrations with a real customer account, if then you decide to use the information on your own benefit, I mean to profit from or to evolve mentally or financially, then it is up to you. If you don't want to use the information, I'm fine with it. If you want to have arguments in the sense of having a different or a contrarian opinion compared to ours, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with everything. I don't have any problems whatsoever. And I think that you should, in the end, this is not about trying to convince you. It has never been about trying to convince you to do something because I want you to do it. No, you should do it if you feel comfortable with doing it, okay? So this has been one of our aims since the very beginning. You should not ever do something that you feel uncomfortable with, but in first place to gain the confidence that you need on a daily basis to evolve, to go step by step, instead of believing in miracles, in things that you listen on TV, as put all your eggs or money in Alibaba because Alibaba is going to the moon, or the case of I don't know, there are so many. There are hundreds or thousands of cases. The case of Netflix at 472 before the stock collapsed at $130 per share. So all these situations, or Netflix 2 years ago, it was a dog in Wall Street, at $60, when in fact it was one of the best investments that you could ever make in the stock market. Or the case in Facebook at $18 that no one wanted. The insiders, they were selling like crazy. So that was the time to buy, to invest in Facebook, as I addressed here, a lifetime investment opportunity. So these things, they have been here, all of them, since IPO. And I think that is, so we participate in history, in the stock market. We make the history of the stock market with all these case studies. And that is it has been my objective, to help you, to make, to publish all these case studies. In the end, these case studies are published using precisely the information that has been shared with you here. Today, for example, I can publish other case study in Chipotle if I want to. I don't have time, but if I want to, I can publish the case study in Chipotle, is other call. And so, again, my great thank you in my name, in name of the team. My belly is is already coming around, but as time passes, and also for the great times that we had here, that we spent here with all of you, music and I don't know, so many things. Quite frankly, today I'm tired after all almost 10 hours here, but we are here again to try to make 2015 a great year. But don't forget this, that I'm going to finish. You don't have to be in the market every single day, as I demonstrated with the case of Netflix or Amazon recently, or Boeing. You have to be when it is necessary. You have to be present when it is necessary with most of your capital, when it is necessary, in the right direction. You don't have to be day trading or short-term trading or investing in the stock market. You have to be patient. You have to learn about I would say, the art of being patient, okay? And that is difficult. That is difficult because I spent here, if you notice, many of my case studies, in one stock, sometimes I don't address that stock for a long period of time, for many months. You have the case of Lululemon, with a case study that I recently published. I made probably 2 calls in the time frame of 1 year. It was sufficient for all of you. You didn't have to day trade the stock or short-term trade, or to be. You just had to do what I said that you had to do and nothing else. So 2 trades or 3 trades in a matter of 1 year, and defined the history of Lululemon and many other stocks that I addressed here, Apollo Group, or I don't know, so many. However, for those that they are interested in short-term trading, the Amazons, the Apples, the Intuitive Surgical, Complex, some of them, well, the Intuitive Surgical is not a stock that we discuss here because it is for professionals, but nevertheless, you have very reliable stocks in the market. And this is other concept that you understood here in the past 1 year, the concept of reliability. I have been teaching you about the importance of trading or investing in reliable stocks. GoPro, the case of Twitter, Facebook, Amazon. And while you listen from, or Alibaba, while you listen from many others, or most of them, that the stock market is complicated, volatility is a problem. We see in volatility an opportunity. Where others they see problems, my friends, we see opportunities. We see opportunities everywhere. Every day there are opportunities. Each day is a different day, but every day there are opportunities. So why to, believe in other people common beliefs? If there is evolution in the world, is I would say mainly due, and quite frankly, sorry about my English, that is not is not my native language, but I would say that evolution in the world is mainly derives from people that believe, or they create instead of believers or sheep followers. You are not going anywhere anytime by being a follower, and I don't want anyone, those that they attend to the service, to be followers or just because. If you decide to follow the guidance given here, because you made your own decision that you feel comfortable with, because you understand what you are doing, and in many cases you know that in the end you make a very large profit just by pushing the trigger. But, and I already should have finalized it, but this act of pushing the trigger is one of the most difficult ever. Many people, they have this problem, this emotional problem, this mental block, and we are also here to help in certain courses that we have, the emotional analysis. Many people have the problem of pushing the trigger when it is necessary. So that depends, it's something that depends, that is, as I said before, a work, something that you have to work, and our job is to help you on a daily basis with those live comments, real-time comments, and very accurate comments, to be there, sometimes to scream if it is necessary, and but not in the sense of gambling, but in the sense of making you seeing the direction, like in the Navy, okay? The SEALs. Here, this is like in Navy, the SEALs. For us, the rules are probably the most important things. For us, discipline is dramatically important. And although we are very happy to have fun and to have music and to have all those situations, I think there are times to be serious, there are times to play, but don't forget that the steps to get there is the most important. And don't try to cut corners, because if you try to, some of you, to go for the home run, I think that is one of the common mistakes ever made by investors, where they try to go for the home run, where your first or primary goal as a beginner, it is precisely the opposite, or in other words, to accumulate profits. Home runs, it is the next step or the ultimate step, but not the first step, as some that they got here they wanted to make. Okay, so nevertheless, we discussed the home runs, and today you had one more in Chipotle, last days you had one more in Amazon, and don't forget about this promise between brackets, Amazon, the promise of winning Mercedes AMG GTS, the new model, the best one, the high end, by investing in Amazon. And it was public, it was for all of you. You just had to pull the trigger to learn how to pull the trigger, to be there, and to have the mental energy to participate and to profit from. And only by doing so, in the end, you are going to learn how to invest in the stock market. But not only that, also learning from mistakes, because those that they believe that there are no mistakes, or that is not possible to make any mistake, they are 100% wrong, and I can prove it to you. Just have to visit the website, click on a link showcase, or to be here every day as you have been here, some of you, while others, depending on your objectives, if you spend here 1 day per week, I'm fine with it. But don't forget that many things you can miss if you are not here, and therefore you cannot expect the same results, and this depends on your status or your level. If whether you are a beginner or advanced, it is up to you to decide whether to attend Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday. And also today we give you the opportunity even to attend the professional live streaming show. So even if you are a non-professional, you can attend the professional one. And this is also important, because if you want to subscribe to certain stocks, how to invest, for example, in Twitter, the annual program is only available for professionals. So in the live streaming show, you have the opportunity to trade Twitter or some other stocks on the professional session. And that lasts for all day. While for non-professionals, for the moment we are doing it twice per week for 2 hours. And right now we have more subscribers to the professional one, but in the beginning that was not the case, as you know. So this also demonstrated that our success derived from your success. Therefore, my interest to know how we can even improve further this service. And bye-bye, thank you, and I hope to get more reviews. Don't forget, log into website, and you have the reviews. Right now they have to be, all of them, digitally signed. Thank you, and congratulations for today's Chipotle. If you had a position on the stock, if you sold the stock above $700, at least you saved some money in Chipotle, since after hours closed at $680, $678. Thank you.